I'm Alli. I came out after 20 years of marriage and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melisa and I have 2 kids and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles. Welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles, birthday girl.
It's still going, the birthday celebration.
Right.
More like my recovery is still going from the birthday celebration.
I know. Did you, we brought like flasks, which is like completely unlike me. But that was so fun.
It was so fun. Like I love
Teddy for her space.
My friend Teddy let us have her little barbershop area for my birthday party. And it's just such a cool spot. Like, I think a lot of people hear barbershop and they're like, okay. Yeah. But it's like an art gallery down there.
It's really cool. And the bathroom was clean. I'm always that. And then also what's kind of funny is because we were doing karaoke, she kicked it off with Bobby McGee.
Oh, yeah.
And Teddy was singing and Maria's like, I think that's really her voice. And I'm laughing. I'm like, that is not her because it sounds exactly like Janis Joplin. There's no way that that's her singing. And the consensus was that was really her singing. Is that possible?
Yeah, I believe so.
Damn. Okay. So she also has a great voice.
Yeah. I mean, we all thought we had great voices that night. I think the Instagram stories might have proved otherwise, but you know,
it's true. Kind of like the dancing.
I mean, I can't be good at everything.
You can't be good at everything. But no, Teddy is a fucking rock star singer.
Yes. And Teddy has her own podcast too, actually.
Really?
We should plug Teddy's podcast.
Is it a gay podcast?
It's called Confidently Clueless.
Okay.
Confidently Clueless. And yeah, she's got a few episodes. I think it's on Spotify. I'm not sure if it's on Apple too, but yeah. So if you want to hear Teddy chat a little bit, I would like to have Teddy on the podcast eventually too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
She's a very interesting person. So
huge personality and super fun. I always love talking to her.
But yeah, all in all, the party was great.
Which at your party, 2 women came that are listeners of the show that I ended up loving both of them. Connected with them on LinkedIn. Like, they were super, super cool women, Shelly and Robin.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they were able to come. It's like I knew we had an event where it's like a private space with lesbians, and they're local to Atlanta, so
yeah, and
perfect little opportunity.
Fun, smart women, like both of them have super interesting jobs and are super cool and have lived in cool places. Like I really enjoyed talking to them. So that was
I'm glad you were able to come out. You know,
I know,
especially with it starting so late after 9 p.m.
I know. Do you know, we went to, what's funny is we met another couple that was also going to the party beforehand to have a drink, and we picked somewhere close enough that we could walk to the party. And then of course we got lost walking to the party because it is kind of like
it's kind of obscure
place, but where we picked, I was scared on a Saturday night of how we could get a table anywhere because I was like, what, it's going to be packed everywhere on the Beltline. I don't think we can get in anywhere. So I was like, let's just go to Brewdog, which I'd been like one time with the kids. We get there with this other couple and they're all looking at me like, what the hell? Like, why did you pick this place?
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever been there.
It's actually a really cool space if you're like a sports fan, and they have huge TVs. It's massive. But the reason I picked it is because it's so big that I knew we could easily walk in and get a table for 4.
Okay.
I knew that we could walk to the party. Like it met all the things that I thought would make everyone happy, but it was like the least like any of us to be in this.
That is funny. I'm looking at pictures. It is cool.
It's a totally great space. It's right at Krog. I mean, it's right there. It's awesome. But it's just nice. We don't really watch sport. Although Maria is a sports fan. So of course she's like trying to watch sports and I'm like pushing her knee down, like pay attention. To the table. But Anyway, it was really, really fun. I would go back there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice and clean. You're saying sports bar, I picture dingy
No, it's not
and
dingy at all.
gross.
It's just like you walk in and you're for a minute,
Oh, they
you're like,
have
oh my
video
God,
games.
video games, camera booths. But I was like, is it going to be just like frat boy heaven?
I mean, I'm
And
excited about the video
yeah,
games.
it's fun there. We've been with the kids. And there were frat boys, but it wasn't bad. It was really actually,
Yeah.
it was
Is
fun.
it all beer?
It's no, I think they have other stuff too, but we got beers.
Yeah.
They have
Good
these
call. Good call.
huge like taps that they'll like bring. It's like a big clear tube that they'll
Oh,
bring
yeah.
to your table, and you can get like a tap at your own table of beer.
Hmm.
That was cool. We didn't do it, but we were watching other people around us do it. It was fun.
Have you been to Pour Tap Room on the Beltline?
I've walked
I
by it
think that's a
3 times,
chain.
but
So they might have other locations. But they've got all these different taps, and you get your glass and like you have a little bracelet and you tap your bracelet to turn it on, and you pour it. But it cuts you off at like collectively, I think you can't have any more than like 32 ounces or something. And
oh
then you
wow,
have to
okay.
like go and talk to them.
Oh, meaning add money to the bracelet.
Well, not add money. I think it's more so like, or maybe it is that to add money, but to make sure you're not drinking too much, I think.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
That was always my take. It's like, oh, they're cutting me off from having more beer.
I
But
know. Well, you know what it is, like a place like that or a place like Brew Dog is I work like when you think about like just a bunch of beer drinkers in one place, to me it's like, is it gonna be, what I was worried about, which is like
a
frat.
wild frat party. But
Yeah,
beer
it
keeps
wasn't.
people pretty tame
I
if
know,
you
that's
really
true.
think about it. It
Yeah.
is not the same as like liquor. Like
No.
when I got married, we were like, we are not having liquor at this wedding. We only had beer and wine. So I was like,
Yeah.
we cannot feed our 20-something friends liquor.
Yeah, they'll be
It will
falling
be
down.
a shit show.
Yeah, totally, totally. No, but your party was a blast. We had a
I'm
great
glad.
time. Yep. We stayed till after midnight.
I'm impressed.
Yep.
I
So
feel like a lot of people did the Irish goodbye. If I
I'm
was
one of
like
those people.
preoccupied. Yeah.
I'm one of those people. And actually, as we're going up the stairs, the people we were with that were leaving with us were like, we probably should say bye. And so I gave it like a minute to maybe say bye. And then I'm like, no,
I'm in my own world.
we better just go. Anyway, it was super, super fun. I'm so glad that we met some kick-ass people. And then I'm going to throw a thing out about The Low, which is that social app that our friends started.
Yeah. Laura and Jessica.
Maria and I joined it, and it's awesome. Like
That's amazing.
they have book clubs on there. It's not about dating. It's completely about community. There's nothing about it that's like a dating thing. It's 100% just to meet cool people. The Low, and it's like literally there's a book club on there that I'm in, and I just did the first book. It was awesome. So I don't know, I highly recommend it if you're looking to
Yeah, it's The Low, and Low is spelled L-O.
Yep, The Low, and you can get the app and you can join, and then there's there's everything. There's running clubs, there's book club, there's social. There's a dinner party I think this weekend that is like you're invited to, and they pick spots that are at these kick-ass places, and you can join your little cohort.
It's funny that you're mentioning this because I've wanted to sign up from the get-go, and I keep missing because they only open it up to like, I don't even know how, a select number of people every few months, because I think they're trying to kind of pace themselves, right?
Okay.
As far as like not having like a shit ton of people join at once and kind of grow with it. That's my assumption. I could be making this up. But I just got a link yesterday, another invite link. So I'm like, I've got it saved in my inbox right now. Like, I'm going to do it this time. I'm not going to miss the deadline.
And I guess too, what's kind of cool is they curate anyone, it's not like they're leaving people out, but it's curated in that you apply basically. And so it's like, you just have a really cool group of women, and not like, I don't know what riffraff. It's just like people that are thoughtful.
Well, I think I wouldn't say, I don't think riffraff makes it sound a little, but like, I think what you mean is like people that are truly committed to building community.
Yeah, it's thoughtful
about
the community. It's not just riff raff is the only way I can think of. It's not people who are just doing it to go out.
Hindering it up to hook up.
Yeah, you got it. That's not going to be on there.
Yeah.
It's serious, thoughtful people who want to meet.
And like, it's funny, is when we started recording this, we were like, we don't even know what our topic is. But I think this is something that stuck out to me a lot in my mind lately, and like how eager we are with coming out to like jump into these relationships. And I feel like we constantly have emails from people who are like, not so much what have I done, but like, I'm in this relationship and it's not working out. And we got in it like right after as I was getting divorced or separated. And now I'm scared to leave this one too,
Yep.
And I think, we're all placing such a focus on like having that prize, like I've said, finding that relationship, that thing to prove that it was all worth it. But isn't it worth it too, to say like, look at all these badass friends I have behind me now?
Way more.
And not so much the person that's coming with you to Thanksgiving that you're kind of iffy about where you stand in your relationship, or like you guys are fighting constantly and you're wondering every day whether or not you made the right decision. Like, why not, instead of like putting all that focus on hooking up with a woman and starting a relationship, putting that focus truly on building a community and figuring things out that way.
And then you end up meeting people. It's like, I'm in a relationship, but at both events I've gone to with the low, I've met really, really awesome people at both ones. The first one was a pride event, and there was a woman there from DC who is kick-ass. She hasn't been in Atlanta that long. And then another woman who's in marketing who I like loved talking to. I mean, she was kick-ass. So it's like you end up having these great conversations with, again, thoughtful people that aren't there to get laid or like party. It's not that. It's like, we're going to go to dinner and have a great conversation.
And I think too, like so many of us, when we're coming out, we're looking for confirmation, like from a sexual standpoint.
Yeah.
And so I can understand the eagerness there. Like, I think we just had an email the other day about like, kind of like, how do I confirm this while staying married and not like step outside of my marriage?
Right.
And I think going to some gay events, meeting some gay women, seeing how you feel in their presence,
and again,
is a great way to explore it without going the sexual route.
And it's also just, again, like, don't sexualize it. Straight people don't have to go out to the bar and want to, like, it's just, who do you feel connected and intimately connected to? Like, who do you sit at the table with? Are you attracted to women in that way or not? I think it doesn't have to be about hooking up. It can be so much more than that.
A lot of people will look at like a celebrity and be like, oh my God, that celebrity, that woman, I want to make out with her, like the Ruby Rose, that kind of thing. The person that's like confusing to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's data, but it's also data to be in the presence, like a human form of a person, and talking to them and connecting and deciding whether or not like you feel any kind of attraction there. Yeah. Not that it has to like go anywhere or anything like that, especially if you're still married, and that's really important, like morally, to not like cross that line. I think that's a good route to go.
For sure. And there were, like, at your party, I was thinking too, like, there are so many great women that are single. Like, both those women that were listeners are single.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it was like cool that they're there. I mean, there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, there was a few people that were single there. I think Teddy's single. Evia. Did you meet Evia?
There was one woman there that I've seen at a couple events, but I don't know. She kind of reminds me of Teddy. She actually, who she kind of looks like, people are going to be like, what? But she kind of looks like Pink.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never met her, but she seems super cool.
Yeah, totally.
But she's been at a few things that I've been to. And
she and Teddy are both one of those women that are just like chill and like okay with being on their own. Like, of course, if a wonderful relationship presented itself, they would embrace that. But they're just so chill and good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's very impressive to me. Like, I'm very impressed by people that, can I shouldn't say detach in that way, but you know what I mean? Like, not place so much weight on that.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Study after study has shown that the happiest demographic, I know I say this all the time, is single women.
Right. It's true. But that kind of branches off to this other topic of like, there are so many people now, so many women, straight women, not just lesbian women, that are being like, you know what? I'm fucking good, man. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't need the husband. I don't need the kids. Like, I am perfectly content in my own world with my friends and my Netflix and my dog or cat. And it, like, I know there's a lot of men that are kind of like pissed about it. Like, what about us?
Yeah.
But like, hell, like I told my sister the other day, I was like, I can't imagine dating right now if I was straight. Like, that seems more daunting to me, like trying to find like a quote good man and like someone that I'm gonna like be able to deal with than trying to date as a lesbian. And my dating pool is much slimmer. But she's like, my sister, she's like, I'm done. Like, I'm not out here to be your servant, take care of your kids, you know, run your house.
Right.
So anyway, I get it, man.
Yeah, so do I. And I think just build your community and see what happens. So you had a great time, obviously.
I did.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, you're back out of town this weekend.
Yes, I'm going to Chattanooga for the weekend. It's Marina's birthday, so we're going to go out there and celebrate.
Nice.
And I have only been to Chattanooga once, and that was when I was like in middle school, and I hated going on vacation with my parents, and I was forced to go. And we went to Ruby Falls and all that touristy stuff. I just remember being very scared of a bridge there. I don't know. Maybe was that Ruby Falls or somewhere else? There's a couple little tourist attractions like that. But I know it's like a really beautiful little city, and the fall leaves will be at peak. Actually, I almost moved to Chattanooga like a long time ago. I interviewed for a job there as a reporter. And
really?
And I was like, all right, this is it. I'm moving to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get the job and ended up moving to North Carolina like a month later.
So. Maria almost moved to Chattanooga too. I love Chattanooga. And I'm like one of those people that I think it is a stunning place. They've got the water, they've got the best hikes, which I'm sure Marina is going to drag you on a few of them because they're amazing.
Yes, of course.
There's one that I'm going to have to like tell you guys about because it's like you come up and then you hit the top of this like vista, and then down below is the most beautiful water you've ever seen. I'm gonna have to ask Maria because I remember being there and saying, I feel like I'm in another country. Like it's so.
Oh, wow. We're planning on doing Rainbow Falls Trail.
Okay. I'll have to.
Which is a pretty long one, but it has a waterfall.
Okay. This is like a big lake.
Okay.
On this mountain looking at these, it's gorgeous.
I mean, the whole place is really cool. I did go to Chattanooga a couple of months ago and I did stand up, but I just did the set and left. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of Asheville, like kind of that eclectic feel. Yeah,
it's really cool. There used to be a hotel that I don't know if it reopened, it closed, but it may have reopened, but it was called The Dwell. And
The Dwell.
It was kick-ass. It's this like mid-century modern hotel. All the rooms have fireplaces. And it was like really like every room had a different kind of Palm Springs modern retro feel. So you could like pick the room you wanted to be in, but they all had these cool fireplaces. But I remember during the pandemic, I think that it might have closed, but it might have reopened.
It looks like they're still open.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. Someone had recommended the Edwin Hotel to me, and I did look at that, but it was way out of my budget. So
I'll do another as the Reed House.
But we are planning on getting a drink at the Edwin.
Okay.
We did an Airbnb, like a tiny house on Signal Mountain. So
nice. Okay.
I've never stayed in a tiny house, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. You guys should go to the Dwell and have a drink. The bar there is kick ass.
We can just do fancy bar hopping.
Yeah, do fancy bar hopping. That was Maria and I have spent many hours in that bar before the pandemic.
Another city that I thought about was Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, Greenville.
I've been there once and it was really cool. Like the bridge and the little like walking area is really pretty. It's kind of funny because like I focus so much on like Atlanta, like Savannah, like those kind of destinations. Like I forget that we've got like Blue Ridge and Chattanooga and Greenville.
LJ is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm with you.
There's like so much to offer for little
Lots
weekends.
Of lesbian exploring.
Yes. Lesbians love to hike. That's one of those things where
love the fall and they love exploring.
Yes. I love the fall for beanie season.
Oh yeah.
You know,
you do beanies year round.
Yes. And I love the beanie and the hoodie combo. So I'm excited about that part, but I have a very hard time getting behind this hiking stuff. Like it's a lot of work for just a little view.
Well, let me ask you, does she ever take you, like we do Sweetwater in Georgia, probably at least twice a month?
No, we have not really been hiking since we went to Croatia, probably.
Okay. That really, I think, set you back because that was like, you don't need to do this.
I mean, that shit was hard. She said the other day that was in like the top 3 most difficult hikes she's ever done.
Wow. Okay.
So let's cut me some slack. No, I'm trying to think. I feel like we did another one, or we were like attempting. When we were in California, we were looking for a few places to go hiking, but we kept kind of like hitting dead ends as far as like how long the hikes were. You know how you'll like find a trailhead and then next thing you know, you've looped back around. It's been like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
which was like your dream come true.
I know. I was like, great. We're back in the car.
Snacks. Time for lunch. Yeah.
I was starving in there.
That's really, when we went to, Maria lived in Oakland for a long time. So whenever we go to California, she like wants to show me everything in like a short amount of time. And that's what happened there. It would be like every day. She'd be like, okay, we have to do this, this, and this. And they're all like hikes.
Oh my God.
Like, where's the like fun food shopping?
Right. I like to hike around downtowns and look in stores.
Exactly.
That's entertaining.
What I kept saying, like, the market.
And like the thing is, I like to exercise. I like a challenge. I need to like embrace it more, especially like getting older and like the fact that like I don't go on these like, epic workouts anymore. Yeah. So maybe I need to shift to hiking, but I don't know. I need like a pep talk.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
In order to go.
I agree. I like it, but I'm more into my exercises, my run, and then I'd rather get the snacks.
And yeah, like, I mean, the New York City Marathon is no like simple feat. Like I've been obsessed with watching people finish on TikTok. I can tell it's a good race as far as like people are there the whole time, like it's along the sidelines cheering you on.
Are amazing.
And then at the end, like they were showing the last like 10 people that were finishing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there's still people at the finish line, like cheering these people on and waiting. And it was just really like awesome. Really nice.
I have the thing, or they caught us finishing. So Tate and I like held hands and it was really great. But the signs are like, you're dying laughing. Like half the time you're like, you can't believe how creative people are with what the signs say. I mean, they're all good. People are serving beer. People are like,
I made that mistake on a run once during a half marathon. Someone handed me a beer and I was like, oh, awesome. And I like drank some of it. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like I still have like 3 miles to go. I'm going to be in some massive pain.
Throwing up. Right.
Yeah. Massive cramping. What's your next one? I know you've got another one lined.
I know. Well, Tate's saying Berlin. I don't think so. I think I would like to do Chicago again. That's still my favorite. It's flat. It's fun, it's good crowds. I love Chicago. So probably Chicago if we can get a number. But
isn't that closing soon?
Probably. I don't think I would do it next year. I like to get a little bit of
I would like to do that. I've always said that if I did one, that would be it.
Do Chicago.
Because it is so flat. Tom did it years ago and I didn't run it with him, but I did run like a good portion of it because they had the streets closed. Yeah. And I was just like running, trying to catch up to points that he would be so I could kind of like wave to him along the way. And I was like, this is great. Like it's so freaking flat. The weather was so perfect that day for him. Yeah. So that's the one thing about Chicago though. The weather can be really all over the place.
I know. They say though, if you want to have a PR, you do it in Chicago. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Tate during New York was like, let's do Berlin, because a lot of people had like Berlin. It seemed like a lot of people in the New York Marathon had done the Berlin Marathon.
Is it flat?
I have no idea. I don't want to me to travel that far to do
I was going to say that would be my concern, is the traveling and trying to navigate ahead the expo and figuring out where all you need to go and all the time difference. Yeah, but like that was what I experienced with my first half marathon was in Hawaii, in Maui. And
nice.
like we were flying from North Carolina to Hawaii. We got stuck in Chicago for like hours sitting on the tarmac, like just waiting for the storm to clear.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get to Hawaii until like super late at night. We missed the whole expo. We get there and it's like, I think like 1 a.m. Hawaii time. And I go into the hotel ballroom to like find our numbers. It is like pretty much empty. The only people around me are all like Asian and don't speak English, because I did not realize it was such like a tourist destination. Japanese tourist destination. And I'm like, where are we?
Yeah.
We've been on the plane forever. This is the first place I've stopped. But we got like maybe 3 hours of sleep and then both went and like ran. And he did the full, it started at like 4 or 5 a.m., something crazy like that, because it gets so hot there.
Right.
But damn, it was a fun trip. But yeah, super jet lag, tired, all that stuff. So this has a lot to do with being gay.
I know, right? Okay. Anyway, what were we originally going to talk about?
We didn't have a topic.
Well, we did. You threw one out right before, which was something, and now I can't remember. So it must have been. You were like, I'd like.
I think it was something about recovering from a breakup. Was that it?
Yeah, recovering from a breakup. Maybe we should save that for next week.
Maybe we should. Why don't we put out the call to people to send us emails about how you handled your post breakup. I'm curious to hear though, seeing as I have experienced some highs and lows lately, I have realized like that first breakup really does hit hard, right?
Yeah.
And I would say more so like I wasn't that upset when my first relationship ended, but the first time that someone ended a relationship with me was like really triggering. And then this most recent kind of ups and downs that I've had in my current relationship, that's hit me really even harder, I feel like, because it's just like, damn, like when do I find like this peace, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, that should be the topic, is like, I think that as I'm getting older, it's like, that's all I want is peace. I want peace in my house. I want peace. I don't want the high-low passion. I want boring. I want to just.
And I will asterisk this with the fact that like I'm very impressed by like how both Marina and I have handled everything.
Yeah,
like I want to put that out there that like we've both handled this like super maturely. Neither of us are like out there trying to like
trash each other
or date someone else to make the other one jealous or whatever. So like that part has been really eye-opening to me as far as like this is what I want, how I want things to be handled in that kind of situation. So that part I'm very appreciative of. It kind of does hit different when you're like, damn, like when do I get like this place where I can sit and be like, like this feels like peaceful and like I don't have to worry about anything anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I think that's the goal, right? Like you just want to relax into something and know when you come home what you're going to find and not feel uneasiness about the relationship you're in. It's when we were at Brewdog before your event on Saturday, we were sitting there with this couple that's just started dating and they're like completely enamored with each other. Like in the early days, how we all are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like literally half the time, like kissing, like just like holding each other, whispering in each other's ears. I mean, I just was like laughing to Maria because I'm like, this is so familiar to me. but where you don't even care that you're at the table with other people. You're just like teenagers. And so that's going on. Love them. This is like me being totally admiring it. But after that let up, I'm like, who's gonna tell him, you guys? And they're like, what? I'm like, it starts out, this is gonna get really rocky.
That it all goes away.
It all goes away. I didn't say that, but I was like, it's gonna get rocky. And they're like, what? I'm like, trust me.
Trust me.
This is gonna get real
Enjoy it while it lasts. I
Um,
mean, it is true. Like that's like, I wouldn't say that it's going to get rocky. I shouldn't.
it's
I mean,
definitely gonna get
more so
rocky
it's
in one relationship that doesn't
no, but I'm saying more so of like, that is how the relationship starts.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes,
like
yes.
you're super into each other.
Yeah.
Like when Marina and I went on the Melissa Etheridge cruise, people were looking at us and thinking we've been together for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and we'd known each other for a month.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because it's brand new and exciting.
Yeah.
You know?
No one's hurt each other yet. Like you're still so supportive and whatever you want and
right.
all the things. And it's like,
oh, it's okay. That's not triggering for me at all.
I love your kids.
I love your kids.
It's so great. I mean, I literally like they parted, they like looked at us and I'm like, this is gonna get really rocky, you two. I'm just like
buckle up, buttercup.
Buckle up. Anyway, so
no, I mean, I get it. It's exciting. I love that. It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
But then the work comes in.
Yeah, then the work comes in, or it doesn't, which is equally problematic.
Right. That's another thing that I see a lot is like, oh, my girlfriend is doing all XYZ and won't fix anything and refuses to go to therapy. It's like, well, sounds like a hard stop to me. Like,
right. And I can always tell, like, too, like when I meet couples out or like we're at an event, I can see not who's going to make it and who's not, but I can see who's there to be with their partner in a public setting and who's there just to be seen and out. Like there's a sense to women that I can pick up on that's like they're at an event very thoughtful with their partner, or they're not.
They've got one eye open, one wandering.
Like, yeah, a little bit disconnected, a little bit more there to be seen and make sure they're, out chatting it up. And so I always wonder like what ends up happening to those couples, because there was a lot of couples at your party that are together and very happy and like, I don't know, like a more traditional setup.
Yeah, they're sticking together.
Yeah, like I always wonder what it's going to look like in a couple of years.
Well, I think it's one of those things that you also have to make like a conscious effort between the two of you to say like, this is it. And like, when we're at not to like crawl up each other's butts, I think it's great to like have other friends and stuff, but to be aware of those like threats.
Yeah.
The outside world.
And there's just women who shut it down and there's women that don't. And there's women that when you're talking to them, make it really clear, like they're bringing their partner into the conversation or bringing up my partner. I mean, I've been at lots of things where I'll meet someone multiple times and I don't even know they have a partner. And then I find out and it's like, oh, that's surprising. I've never heard her say a word. And she didn't do anything wrong. It's just like, that's data for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I crave that safety and I like meeting couples that have been together and that show that, because it just gives me hope for all couples, really, if you want to be in a couple.
I think that's probably part of it. What most of us are struggling with.
Yeah.
Is that it is hard to find that kind of security in a relationship,
especially at our age. It's like, you've had a lot of life experience that's brought you here. There's a lot of non-negotiables with me that I didn't have when I was 25. So it just, when you filter through all those things, who's left on the other side?
Very true.
But there's a lot of positives to that too, because then it's like, you're also you don't have the nonsense anymore.
Oh, yes. I just saw this video the other day. God, I wish I could remember more details on it, but it was basically saying, like, when you are feeling like secure within yourself, the people that you choose to date are way different than the people that you choose to date when you're insecure in yourself.
1000%.
Like when you just want validation and you want someone to pay attention to you and you want to feel good about yourself, like your picker's broken.
Yep.
You know?
That's what I mean when you're out. I can see those women.
Yeah.
Looking for that outside validation. They're looking around, who's noticing me, or who am I talking to, or how am I, versus you're so secure in yourself. And it makes me comfortable. Like when I'm with people that are so comfortable in their own skin, I always enjoy the conversation because it's just comfort.
And 5 years ago, like I would have been like, I need validation. I need someone to make me feel better, all this stuff. But right now, no, like I feel secure in myself. I need to figure out what's happening in my current thing. And I'm not bringing someone else in to help me through that. I'm not using their feelings. And I will also, like, if things don't work out in this relationship, I will be very cautious about who's next.
Yeah.
And I think that's massive. Like,
yes, that's a shift.
I'm not shitting on people that want to do that kind of thing, you know, like I get it. Like I understand where you're at, but I also suggest like doing some reflection in that case if you just want like to feel better.
Yeah, or maybe just go out with your friends, go out. It's okay to meet people. It's okay to flirt. It's okay to be excited about
right.
It's even
I totally agree. Flirting and having fun, that's great. Like have fun, enjoy yourself, but also like do say to if someone's expressing interest in you, be honest with where you're at.
I just got out of a relationship. I think that's true. And I think too, people do pick up on, like, let that be a lesson of if you have gone through a breakup, or even if you haven't, if you're just coming out, to really do the work to get super comfortable with who you are. And because when you show up that way, you're awesome to people.
Like, you're magnetic.
You're magnetic. Well, yeah. So it just, you know, take this time to learn about you, build it, be in the community, like join events, get comfortable with yourself, and you'll be magnetic. I mean, it's true. Confidence is hot.
Absolutely. That's just it, man. Like if you really think about like some of the people that have like the most confidence, like they're not that hot sometimes. It's just like this energy they emit, you know? So I will say too, the Low, again, spelled L-O, and it says right now the wait list is open for people in the Southeast region. So Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, and Alabama.
Highly recommend.
Yes. All right, my friend.
All right. Take care. Have fun.
Thanks. Bye.
Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandalli@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Alli, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.